Jorge Masvidal was on the MMA Hour on Monday and honestly didn't come across that great. And there's one part in particular, which I'm going to talk about in today's video, that honestly I think is just embarrassing at this point. So let's watch that and I will give my thoughts after.
Fair enough. Well, congratulations on that. Is there anything else you want to say about that situation, or do you feel like we've touched it all?
By the way, him saying congratulations, the felony charges, the jail time that Masvidal was possibly going to get was dropped. That's why Ariel said congratulations, just for a bit of context here. Of course, Masvidal and Colby having that assault a few years back, so Masvidal avoiding jail time. But here's what he has to say after, and honestly, I'm not a fan of this.
I don't know when, but me and Colby going to see each other at some point, whether it's in a cage or I don't know where the it's going to be, but we're going to see each other for him lying on my name, for him pressing charges, for everything that he's done. We are going to see each other. And it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be interesting. Okay. You know, I'm going to knock the rest of his teeth out. I got to knock 2 of his fake ass teeth out.
All right. Well,
yeah, I mean, come on. Like, okay, Masvidal had his opportunity at Colby. They fought at UFC 272. First off, can someone just explain to me what exactly did Colby say? Like, Colby has said things that are across the line for sure. I'm not oblivious to that. But what exactly did he say to Masvidal that is causing him to act like this? I want to see someone show me the exact transcript of what he said, because this isn't a case of like Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul, where Dylan is constantly tweeting Logan Paul's fiance every single day. Colby might have made a couple comments in a few interviews, but Jorge's just like, it's like, let this go, man. These two fought at UFC 272. You can see the headline there. Covington mauls Jorge Masvidal, calls out Dustin Poirier. The fight wasn't close. Like, Masvidal had his chance to beat the brakes off Colby. Of course, they were former friends. Now they've turned into rivals. You had your chance to beat him up. So what does he do? He goes out there and he slugs Colby Covington. He sucker punches him in public. So he gets back at him. Covington, needing some new teeth, all that different stuff. So the charges come up. And now here's Masvidal again saying that he's going to knock all of his teeth out. Like, what are you trying to solve here? First off, you're publicly admitting this. So if anything happens again, you're going to get in even more trouble than you were last time. If you wanted to avoid jail time, this is probably not the best way to do it. Second thing is, and I've said this before in a lot of my live streams, assaulting people in public is just idiotic, especially when you're professional fighters. Settle in the cage. It obviously was something that, didn't go Masvidal's way, but just let it go, man. Like, this reminds me a lot of the whole Juliana Pena calling out Amanda Nunes thing. Nunes retires. We know she's not coming back. Pena's still going on and on and on about Amanda Nunes. Masvidal's not going to fight Colby. Even if Masvidal comes back to the UFC, I doubt the timing would ever work out that him and Covington would ever fight again. I don't think there's any fan interest in seeing that fight as well, because it was so one-sided, the first fight, and it's like, I feel at this point, this is just getting dragged on way longer than it needs to be here. And I don't know who's around Masvidal right now. I know he left his management group a few years back. Like, who's around him right now that thought this was a good idea? Like, and look, I know there's going to be people in the comments, saying the typical, oh, you don't understand, you don't fight, it's street code, all this. Like, we have laws for a reason. Like, you can't just go around hitting people and assaulting them just because you have a problem with what they say. Now, look, am I a believer in people shouldn't be talking about people's families and all these different things? Absolutely. I agree with that as well. But there's other ways of getting back at someone. The best success in life is revenge. Be successful with your Game Bread promotion. Start, why doesn't he go and try and train with Leon Edwards and help Leon beat Colby? Like that, those are ways that you can get back at Colby. But saying that you're going to see him in public again and assault him is just idiotic. And then on top of that, you've got people already that don't like MMA fighters. They don't like fighting. They don't like the UFC. This type of stuff does not help, because this just adds to the stereotype that, oh, everyone who fights, they're barbaric, they're idiots. We already have a hard enough time with certain people not buying into fighting. And then you got guys like this saying, I'm going to knock all of his teeth out. Like, this is just dumb, like, they're not fighting each other. It's a fight that's not going to happen in the future. It's a fight that, like I said, the fans are not interested in. I just don't get Masvidal's motive here, like, other than trying to keep his street rep or whatever. I don't know, but I just think, honestly, like, this was just such a dumb move on his part to mention this. Like, he could have mentioned that, hey, I got off on the charges, and he could have said, hey, Colby will get his, whatever. But to say you're going to go assault him again, like, the proof is here. That's what got him in trouble last time. Like, he did a video on this basically bragging about assaulting Colby, and now he's going to try and do it again. And I just think, again, like, Masvidal, I don't know what the motive is here. You're not going to get more people to buy into Game Bread fighting by saying stuff like this, I don't think. I don't get the motive here at all, and I frankly just think it's just kind of embarrassing at this point, because, like, this is something that happened a couple years ago. And I get Masvidal being upset that, obviously charges were pressed and all that. And that's a whole other debate about pressing charges and all these different things. But Colby also suffered. Colby didn't get to fight for a while because these charges were pending and all this different stuff. And all Colby was doing was going out for dinner and he gets assaulted. Again, settle it in the octagon. If you got a problem, settle it there. Masvidal can even challenge him to like a charity match outside the UFC, something like that. But like saying you're going to go assault him, to me, is just a terrible look here. And I just don't think it helps Masvidal's cause at any moment. And I'm not the only one here. Go read some of the comments here on the video. This has to be the saddest interview I've ever heard on the show. Colby is a permanent resident in his head. You have 25 minutes to do it legally. You got your butt whooped. You had to resort to sneaking up on him like a coward just to get some punches in. That's all true. Like, you had your opportunity. Again, the benefit of being a professional fighter is you can solve your problems in the octagon, in the cage, and make it happen. And that's not really what he did right now. So, I just think it's just crazy to me. Like, Jorge Masvidal was the fighter of the year in 2019. He got a title shot. No one was more popular than him in the promotion. And I feel like now it's kind of turning into this, like, what are you gaining here? Like, all the power to him for his game bed promotions and putting on good fights and helping the fighters and all that. I'm totally about that. But like, this type of stuff is just like, it doesn't benefit anyone. Like, even your biggest Masvidal fans, like, do you really think like this is, first off, do you think he's actually going to go up and assault him? He might, but like, you're going to go in jail for that. That's why we have laws. Like, I'm a firm believer in if someone says something bad about you, you don't assault them, because like I said, we have laws. You can get arrested, get a criminal record. I always say too, if people are fighting in public, you never know the elements around you. What if you fall on the ground, someone hits their head? This is just, it's not a good look, man. And again, it's not sending a great message to people out there as well that you got to go beat someone up. Again, I'm a firm believer, and this is just my own personal view, the best success is revenge. Improve your promotion. Go help Leon Edwards or any other of the opponents that Colby will be facing in the future. Do that. That's a good way of getting revenge. But this idea that I'm going to go out there and assault him and break his teeth and all that, like, to me is just, it's very much idiotic. And honestly, it's kind of sad. Like, I think a lot of us felt like after that fight, maybe they could bury the hatchet. These two guys were best friends. If you go look at some of the videos on YouTube, they used to hang out together, pick up women together, all this different stuff. And now it's turned into this. It's just kind of sad, honestly, because I think, like, if they could somehow find, I don't think that's ever going to happen at this point now. I remember for a while people were saying, oh, this whole thing's fake. I mean, it's not fake, but again, I just don't know what Masvidal's doing here. Like, I don't get the motive other than like trying to act tough, but I don't know, man. Like, you had your opportunity. It was a one-sided fight, like I said. And, good to see him not get any jail time, but in general, like, you can't be doing stuff like that. And again, if anyone knows exactly what Colby said that pushed Masvidal to the limit here, I'd like to see it, because he said some bad stuff that's offside 100%. But this type of stuff, it's this would be the type of thing I could see Logan Paul doing against Dylan Dennis, acting like this and getting pissed off because he went after his girl. Like, Colby might have made a couple comments, but that's it. And this was years ago. Like, let it go, man. Let it go. So that's kind of my thoughts on everything with Jorge Masvidal. I just think it's not a good look here. I want to know what you guys think, though. Whose side are you on here? Are you on Jorge's side, or you have the belief that you should just go hit people in public because you don't like what they say? Or are you on the side of Colby here, being like, look, this happened. Move on. Let's let it go. I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. I'm James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.